Okay, just hop back into Car Mechanic Simulator. Restored 2 cars the last time I was playing, so I've got 2 cars in good condition, but I don't have a lot of money left. Hey Michael, how are you doing today? So I either have the option of doing regular jobs for money, or sell the cars I have restored. 50 degrees there. Let's see, what is it here today? Oh, it is 1 degree here today, so pretty much 32 degrees. I should have guessed that. The snow is melting on our roof, but not many other places. Yeah, my brother is closer to you than he is to me right now. Let's see, I don't think I have anything hidden around the yard right now. Well, that was a big sneeze. I'm sneezing a lot today. I was sick earlier in the week and I have mostly recovered, but now I've started sneezing a bunch. Wait, it's a wee bit more than 4 hours away from me. Let's just go ahead and sell that car. And we'll sell this car too. Kinda like to keep this car, but it's worth a lot of money and I can put that money into new cars to rebuild. So, which I do have a bunch of stuff I should get rid of. Yeah, that is pretty cold. Our low is definitely down into the around 20 degrees Fahrenheit sort of range. Yep, playing Car Mechanic Simulator. How's it going, Milo Girl? I was gonna say, I told my brother he can bring back some of that Texas heat when he comes back. You can complain about being cold out there, but having a high of 50 today would be pretty good. Much better than our high of 33. We should always wait till like mass salvage stuff. it'd be worth losing on the bonus over it. Also, it doesn't help that I don't actually use the salvage for anything right now. Because you can upgrade parts using salvage. Like I would need 36 salvage in order to upgrade a gearbox. What does that actually do? I'm not sure. I think once I'm building cars for me, I definitely plan on using upgraded parts, but we'll see. You're 45 degrees below normal temperature. It's not a small amount. At the very least, my base, like if I miss everything, it is still a success. I still get something. Yeah, if Juan wants, he can take that 70 degrees from Texas and bring it out here. Although my wife would actually probably not be too thrilled. It'd probably make it probably would ruin the ski season. Personally, I'd be okay with it. Man, Milo girl, with Shep and Juan not here, there's no one to spread any lies about Skittles. Okay, we're almost to the end here. I'm trying to cover for myself. So, well, until proof emerges of my my Skittle usage, I'm going to have to maintain my innocence. All right, let's go looking for a new car to fix. Let's go to the car auction. Hopefully this will get us something. I'm gonna just say I don't think your mini court system there is based off of due process. Oh, so we've got salvage and regular car auction. A salvage McLaren F1 still starts at $1 million. It'll be a while before I can afford to put one of those in my garage. Well, this is not going to go for a ton, but I do want to get me a Datsun, so let's see if I can't pick that up. All right. Yeah, no, we'll let it go. Don't want to get myself into a bidding war that never ends. All right. So none of those seem like they're worth spending the money on. I'm going to go to the junkyard. We'll fix up something from the junkyard instead. Cars from the junkyard are missing a lot of parts, so you have to spend more to fix them up, but you get them for pretty cheap and you don't have to outbid other bidders for it. Where's there? Junkyard. Let's go. Juan was killing mini Reese's cups by drowning them. It seems like an inhumane way to kill Reese's cups. The only proper way to kill Reese's cups is by eating. Oh, so we've got a skyline here. That's absolutely trash, but it's in the junkyard. Alright, let's buy one. $10,000 for a skyline. I don't know what it will sell for, but it seems like we should be able to make our money off of it. And another, McLaren's all over the places. I don't know where this is, but apparently, yeah, 1.5 million. See, I don't know where we are, but the fact that you can find such a rare car so frequently, something just seems a little bit off. Edgewood Wildcat. Yeah, why the heck not? Let's buy that. So we'll restore a skyline and a old muscle car at the same time. Yeah, one of my cats wants to go outside, but it is cold. Everything's covered in snow and is melty and nasty. Oh, this is a Supra. Yeah, 70. Mm, yeah, screw it. Let's buy the Supra. Why not? That will be the end of my shopping spree, though. There. All right, let's go back to the garage. All right. Well, let's start by rebuilding the muscle car. And by rebuilding, what I really mean is tear it completely apart. We need everything off of this thing. So many rusted bolts. But to be fair, on a vehicle this age, I would expect a lot of these bolts to just literally not come apart. I'd probably be cutting a lot of this off. All right, now I'll pull apart the other side. And we'll probably rebuild. Yeah, brother does not have to take vitamin D while he's down there. That's for sure. We'll probably completely rebuild this one before we move on to rebuilding one of the other two Japanese cars. The other two cars outside are probably two of the most iconic Japanese cars. They're both certainly cars I would never buy in real life just because I don't think their value matches what people are willing to pay for them at all. Like, they're both good cars, but just not. The amount people are willing to pay for them is kind of ridiculous. So your sun was hiding all week? We've had a mix of sunny days and cloudy, fresh snow days. But everything around right now is just covered in snow. We've had a lot of snow in the last while. More than we usually like. We've had a lot of snow. I don't think this will probably be the last. Like I would not be surprised if we don't get much more snow before Christmas. There's actually a good chance that all the snow that we have right now will actually melt before Christmas, and then we'll have none of it. That's an uncommon thing for it to happen around us at all. Okay, I want to get access to that hub. Why is it being difficult? Still find it silly that pretty much every car in this game is modeled as a manual transmission. Like, I approve because I really do like manual transmissions, but definitely not realistic. All right, so we've got a piston left here. Yeah, let's just take that off out of the car. I need to drop the car to remove the body anyway. While that goes down, put one of the other two cars on the other rack. All right, so other than the engine, everything else is already out. And now the engine is out, so let's move this. Actually, let's not move that. That can go away. So first things first, let us repair the frame. There, so the frame is repaired, but still dirty. All right, there. Now the frame is repaired and cleaned. Let's clean out the interior as well. There, cleaned exterior, cleaned interior. Everything's looking good. All right. Now we see what can we repair. None of that. Can fix the rotors at least somewhat. Yeah, I think what my brother could have taken down is he could have taken down some of the snow. We don't need as much of it as we've been getting. Oh, it's funny because while we typically don't get a lot of snow down here in the valley, you do go up the mountains, they do tend to get a lot of snow. And that can cause problems is if we don't get enough snow up the mountains during the winter, in the spring when all of that melts, we basically rely on that to basically sort of fill up the lakes and rivers full enough so that all the reserves, all the drinking water and other basically reservoirs that are holding water for the summer don't actually have enough that it does become a problem. Okay, so all of those parts are fixed. We put back on our 100% block. But our crankshaft is garbage, but our camshaft is not. Well, may as well quickly run out to our shed and salvage the garbage parts. Just tap this as fast as I can. Oh yeah. Not being thrown away, neglected, being turned into useful scrap. Is yet to be made into something useful. There are a lot of mini random comments. Okay, so let's buy ourselves a front bumper, the doors, the fenders, well, pretty much everything. I don't think we were able to salvage anything for body. Mind you, we didn't have much for the way of body, so. Yes, yes. Not meaning neglected, just being turned into scrap so they can be used for other things. If I was just throwing them away, I'd just sell them because you can actually sell them for some amount of money. Just kicking my keyboard and mouse. My feet are getting cold, so I pulled them up on the chair, put them under a blanket. All right, so now that we have the car body done, since I need a bench seat. Oh, it's easier to tell what seats go in what car. So the bench Hellcat Leather 2 does not go into this Hellcat. Oh, yeah, it's not Hellcat, it is Wildcat. Hellcat's, I think Hellcat's the real car. I need, yeah, Wildcat bench, not Hellcat bench. That is one of my biggest gripes is that this game does not make the interiors easy to tell what would match with what. Okay, so let's see if I got that right this time. Okay, so the interior is done, the exterior is done, but we need to repaint it. And in real life, this is the time to paint a car, when you have the engine out and you can get to everything. Absolutely the best time to be painting a car. But let's take a look at some of the factory colors that we have. Ooh, that's a very pretty red. Hey, Farmer Mick, how's it going? And then we have the green that it came in, which is a nice green. See, pink isn't one of the factory colors. We've got orange and oh, that's actually a very Nice sort of like deep goldish color. Not very bright and flashy, but still a good looking color. Then we've got that light blue. Nice dark blue. I like that dark blue. I think I can go with that red, which has got a nice metallic quality. So like that is, I could make it pink, but then I'm not painting it factory color. And I'm trying to stick with factory colors for this. So like that right there. Let's go to 0.1 there, roughness. Now we've got a nice metallic pink. What do you think of that, Milo? You do your car builds first? Okay, so we'll go with this. It's not one of the factory colors. Usually I go factory colors on these, but we will go with it. All right. Now time to put the car back to the shop. There it is. No, it's pink glory. But still nothing under the hood. Gotta go fix that. It's not pink smoke, that's pink paint. Basically, you get the aerosol paint sprayed out and it will basically dry to the body, and that's what the basically, yeah, it's pink spray. All right, now we're gonna need, yeah, we're gonna need 8 of those pistons. Let's just start adding a bunch of this stuff to our shopping list. So that we remember to get this all. And I'm pretty sure we don't have most of this. What is what? Didn't notice when that, or I don't know what was on screen when you made that comment, so I'm not sure. Oh, and one thing is I don't have basically the piston ring. I need piston rings as well. So we'll be able to just put in pistons without piston rings. That'd be a bad day. But of course, these are not regular. Are these? So I need regular piston rings. Okay, that's fine. I can buy regular piston rings, 8 of them. Of course, the alternator is not going to be in engine stuff. It's going to be under electronic. Same with ignition. Milo Girl went from being back to being front, or Father Mick is back, so now you're Milo Girl's front. And of course, I did not buy any cam rods. Sorry, did I just call it cam rods? I did not buy any. Brain, it's blanking. Connecting rod caps. Now, I don't remember if, yeah, I don't have the heads. So the crankshaft bearing cap, I need 3 of. Rod caps, I need 8. Need 2 engine heads and 1 timing chain. So where did the car go? The car is over in the other room, but it has no engine in it. So that's what we're currently doing is we are building the engine for it so that this engine can go in. Yeah, this is a or the start of an engine. Right now it's just the block and some stuff in there. Still a lot of it that's missing before it's really an engine. Let's get that engine rotated around so it's right side up. So our V8 looks like a V. All right. So we've got our heads bolted down. So at this point, I would say we actually have an engine. We have block, we have the piston heads. Still a lot of stuff to go together, but we have the core stuff that makes an engine an engine. So did I need one of those or two of those? Two of those, yes. Sometimes they're different side to side, other times they are not. So I need 16 of these. And then we'll also get 16 rocker arms while we're there. Now let's get some spark plugs. No, that's not what I meant to do. I want to add that to the shopping list, not go shopping. There, we put the intake down. This is what delivers the fresh air to the engine. Bolt on the exhaust, which is what takes the burnt, used up air out. Spark plugs, which is what ignites our air and fuel. Normally I wouldn't be mounting a clutch plate right here, right now, but game gives us the option, we can do it. Nope, not a mini ship laugh. That is a mini crafting spirit laugh. All right, now for the really tedious job of, so I have a crafting spirit that lives in my house. That's what. But now for the really tedious job of bolting in each individual rocker arm. I have done this once in my life. When going to school to become a mechanic, we had an engine that had rocker arms that we rebuilt. It ran before we took it apart, and we had to put it back together, and it had to run after. It's not creepy. It's important to have a crafting spirit. How else do you make anything? So I'm a mechanic. Of course, I've tried licking it. Okay, so let's see. Need the crankshaft pulley, need the water pump, carbureted, clutch plate, and then the valve cover. And that should be 1 and 2. I never actually put the oil pan on, which is, to be fair, not a problem. When I'm actually rebuilding engines, the oil pan is one of the last things I put on. Same with oil filters, I don't tend to put them on. Don't want them to become damaged while I'm basically when I need to go put a no, I did not need to put engine block on. I need to put on the power steering belt. Yeah, licking Reese's Cups is the only problem with licking Reese's Cups is that you're wasting time in which you could be eating Reese's Cups, but licking Reese's Cups is not bad. Much better than licking engines. Okay, so we're gonna get that belt. I don't know. I'm not convinced that Mini Juan does not understand that he's Mini. So I don't think he'd use the word Mini so much if he wasn't Mini. So maybe the problem though is maybe you're not Mini. And that's skewing your view on how Mini things are. Although I don't know. I don't know which is more likely. Are you actually just very Mini? Or are you gigantic and everything else is Mini because you're gigantic? Ignition wires. All right, there it is. Complete engine. Ready to go into the car. So let's, nope, not, I want to take the engine off the stand. Yeah, I'll just carry it over here, no big deal. And now we put the engine into the car. Ta-da! Now the car has an engine. Still needs everything else that goes behind the engine in the rest of the engine bay. But hey, at least we have an engine. All right. That is something I did not see when I was taking things apart. Want to make sure the car either has parts in 100% or 0%. Nothing in between. The car I'm working on right now is not modded, I'm pretty sure. And this one is just the Edgewood Wildcat, which is one of the generic cars. The Nissan Skyline over there is a modded car. All right. Well, you know what? Since Juan is in Texas today, let's get some Texas plates put on this car. Texas truck. Sure. There, so now I've got some Texas plates going on the car. But I don't mean to go down low. I want to be up here. Yeah, I just forgot to take the refuse box out originally, so it was a thing I missed when I was taking it apart. Yeah, Mini Juan flew over you and landed close to Michael. There. Now we can put that fuse box back in. And fill it up with the appropriate fuses and relays. I'd hate to do this in real life, have to actually go through and figure out how, or like unwiring a fuse box and rewiring up one and then putting the right fuses all in. Sounds like a major pain in the butt. Those are both commander electrical, aren't they? Battery, fuse box, cover. Alright, got our supercell battery in. Fuse box cover. Cover. Let's put the car up in the air. And then we see what we were all able to actually fix, because a lot of this we were actually able to clean up and fix really nice. However, I did not actually take apart the suspension. I'm honestly not excited for the Drag Race DLC. Not something I super care about. I like working on the cars. Building up the drag cars probably is not a thing I'm going to do a ton of. I don't think Jess will be streaming this week. I have no idea actually what the stream plan is, but my guess is that there will be no streaming beyond what I stream, which will probably not be a bunch because I will probably be working again on Monday. As much as I'd like to not. Okay, now let's see, can I fix any of this stuff? Alright, so I can fix the rims, which reminds me. No, I don't have anything to go on there. So everything else will just have to be scrapped and maybe scrapped and replaced. Alright. So tires. I need 205, 75, 14. And 4 of them. 205, 75, 14. Let's buy them. And then rims. I need a single. Oh, I did not wish list that rim I need. And so I need it in 14-inch with 0 offset. Yeah, I guess I should also finish buying the other things that I was buying when I was there. So I need 2 of those. 2 springs. Nope, I already bought my 2 springs. And the caps. So offset is basically just from where the rim bolts to the hub out to what the actual center of the rim is. If the offset is 0, it means where the rim bolts to the hub is actually the center of the rim. But some rims sit where the actual where you bolt on is not centered. It'll either be in farther and you'll have like a deep dish effect where the bolts sit quite deep into the rim, basically where the surface where that meets the hub is closer to the inside edge of the rim. So it has a very deep looking rim. Other ones, the rim bolts up almost flush with the face of the rim, and that would be positive offset versus negative offset. Negative would be deep, positive is near the surface. I think I remember, if I remember right. It's been a while since I've actually had to deal with offsets. But I think all the rims in this game by default are 0 offset, which is kind of nice. In real life, it is not. That is not common. Like, I think my rims on my car ended up being negative 35 offset, which means they were 35 millimeters deep. Which is honestly, I really like the look of sort of deep dish wheels where basically the center of the rim is quite a bit deeper than the edges. Oh, hey, that was actually that balancing that wheel actually went kind of correct. It almost never goes even kind of correct. So in this little mini game, you're putting weights down on the wheel. What you're doing is you're balancing the wheel because wheels are never perfectly weighted. So you add like a quarter of an ounce here, like half an ounce there. You never want to be adding a bunch of weight. But if I'm adding weight over here, you can see where the weight is coming on over here, but I set that, and now the weight is over here. That means I have done a bad job balancing. I shouldn't have weight here and here on the rim. If you are doing this, you are doing it wrong. Your wheels should only get weights on one section of it. Okay. Now let's get all of that. No, so I don't have the part for that or for that. No, wrong button. Yeah, tuning suspension could be a lot of fun, but it depends on how it's done. Like, I have to admit, I'd love a game, basically combine a game like this with a game like Forza. Something where you've got a race game where you go, oh, I want to build a race car, but I actually have to manually pull apart everything and go, okay, I want to tune suspension. Pull apart your suspension and tune it. Not just, oh, fiddle with a number in the settings. On this car, I'm not going to do anything with brakes. It's just going to be put the brakes back together the same as they came. Wait, did I? I guess that transmission was too bad condition to be saved. That's unfortunate. That's an expensive big piece to have to replace. But I don't have the necessary parts. I've run out of bushings. Let's get more bushings. I mean, it looks like a phone. It just doesn't look like a modern phone. I think we'll need 2 of those. We'll just grab 10 rubber bushings. Can never really have too many of those. You just always end up going through them. Now I'm gonna try to follow what's being said in that emoji. Of course, I don't have those. Or those. Or those. No, at least I managed to save the leaf springs. See, cat in a box I can understand as an emoji. That's an emoji at my level. No, no, not to shoplifting. Shoplifting. Not to shoplist. I want to go to. I want to go to the tablet and actually go shopping. And I could definitely just buy like a fuel pump while I'm here because I know I'll need it. No. But it is easier to just wait for me to be able to mark it in the shopping list, or mark it and put it on the shopping list, and then I can just auto add it later rather than, or auto find it rather than have to search it up. Oh, sweet. I also managed to save the axles. I mean, I currently have a bottle of something that could be considered hand sanitizer on my the desk. beside my computer. I'd be okay with drinking it. Not all of it, but I'd be okay with drinking it. That's not an unfair description of some of those early hand sanitizers. Yes, this hand sanitizer is raspberry flavored. How did you guess? I'm gonna go with you being a wizard. No. Put in the drive shaft. This is very much not how I would be putting those together in real life. In real life, this would very much be... Basically, you start at one corner of the vehicle and you move over as much as you can. It's a good way to keep yourself from missing important things. Well, everything is starting to come together though, so... I think I only need one of those, but I might be wrong. I might actually need two. Now I think that is going to be, I'm going to be missing both the piston and the caliper. Which is annoying because I can't add both. Yeah, so I did need two of those. I can't add both of those as conveniently as I'd like. Alright, so let's look at brakes and... Yeah, okay, so... Brake caliper cylinder. It's not wrong. It's fine. The cylinder in a brake caliper is indeed can be called a cylinder. It's not a wrong way to call it, but everyone just calls it the caliper piston. So it's more, in my opinion, it is the more helpful way to look at it. All right, Father Mick, we will see you around later. I hope you have a good weekend. And of course, I did not grab these. Well, I hope you do enjoy the stream when you come back and watch it. I do enjoy streaming Car Mechanic Simulator. People make fun of me because as a mechanic, why would I play this? But I do really enjoy playing Car Mechanic Simulator. It is fun. So actually, let's take a look. Car status. Yes. I am missing the silliest part of this entire car. I feel like I can make a guessing game for you guys of what car part I'm missing of this, and you'd probably never actually find the part I'm missing. But it's this little clip right here. I forgot to grab them. These should be like screws where they're not an individual thing you buy because you don't buy bolts in this game. They should just be part of the distributor cap. Okay, well, I think that puts the car as 100% restored. So I bought the car for 6,800. Spent a fair amount in parts, but I can now sell it for 48,000. So definitely making money on it. All right, let's start the painful process of stripping this car down to nothing. Oh yeah, this car is not actually a mod. This is the knockoff Skyline. I'm trying to think. I may not actually have Skylines in the game. I want to say because there is actually, I think I have the Nissan pack, so I think there's actually non-modded Skylines in the game now as well. You know, Shep, you do make me kind of want to try to search because I would honestly would be a little surprised if there is no barista simulator. Or if not a barista simulator, specifically a coffee shop simulator. And not like a coffee shop management, but like the working in a coffee shop sort of experience. I mean, there's Goat Simulator for goodness sake. There might not be a good barista simulator, but that doesn't mean that there's not a barista simulator. Yeah, because I was just having the moment to think about it. I'm like, there's gotta be. There just has to be. Is it good? That's a different question. That was not the topic on hand. Oh, I'm like, why is that not let me take it up? Because I haven't taken out the bushings. Of course it's not gonna let me. I'm at a lot of rusted bolts on this room. Sounds like a dangerous option. Sounds like a very quick way to lose more of your coworkers. Or not like lose, but like have them disappear for hours on end. Oh, I'm missing one somewhere. Yeah, that one's frozen up there. Yep, just close up shop. Everyone naps for 2 hours. Sounds good. Sounds like a good idea, except for that for me that would be a total loss situation because I don't nap. I don't nap well. Wish I could just pass out for 2 hours and then wake up. Even like remotely rested. In the very rare case where I do get to nap, usually it is like I wake up and I'm like, what year is it? I don't, like all sense of time is gone. Yeah, my biggest problem is that like if I just try to nap, I usually just don't. I just lay there for however long. Which at the very least means I am very rarely suffering from the what year is it nap effect. Because, well, I didn't nap. But every once in a while I do manage to actually fall asleep, and then usually the result is, what the heck happened? Oh, there. I'm like, what am I missing? I saw the bushing. Nope. Now, is this actually going to be an inline? Yeah, that'll be an inline 6, won't it? Yep. Actual proper inline 6. I like it. I was wondering if there's going to be something silly like being an inline 4 or something in the game. Which, fair, does not actually Nissan Skyline, it's just a tribute to it. As well as the rare case where I do get to actually nap, my brain 100% then goes, oh, so that means you don't need to sleep tonight. Alright, so now we're down to bare frame. No, that's not. No, that's not what I meant to do. Yes. Let us fix up the frame. And off to the being, basically, let's get this washed. Car wash. Now it's a very nice deep purple the car comes in, but I feel like I'm going to probably change that up. If I ever have to use penetrating lube to get head bolts out, I'm walking away. That's not true. If you have head bolts that are not coming out, they're not coming out with penetrating lube. Like there's no way. Penetrating lube is not getting in far enough to make a difference. They're not a bolt. They are a very deep bolt with a very high torque. They're not going to come apart because you put some some WD-40 on them. Which, first off, WD-40 is not even a good penetrating spray. It is just a good water displacement. I mean, I won't disagree that the pink and purple don't look good together, but just feel like the nice deep blue that the Skylines come in is just the right color for the car. Don't think I can repair anything else, but I can scrap some. Now at this point I'm relatively impatient, so we're going to go with scrapping as fast as possible. some point I'll actually be using these scraps for something. This will be useful for me. Right now this is mostly just a waste of time. Which is realistic. In real life, hanging on to old parts, old scraps is almost never worth your time. Yeah, we tend to do it. Okay. Time to put stuff together. Oh. So apparently the block itself was non-repairable. That's going to be an expensive. Add a little bit of expense to it, to put it lightly. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but tradesmen who don't hoard things is no, I wouldn't say uncommon, but it is not the norm. No, let's not buy another engine block. That's not a thing I need. Don't need to spend that money twice. Okay, so 6 pistons. But then I'm also going to need 6 piston rings, because they're not just automatically bought with the pistons. Which I actually don't know what the best way to buy stuff like this is. Like I've never really done engine rebuilding. I have disassembled an engine far enough to take pistons out, but I've never really just rebuilt an engine from scratch. I've never had to replace pistons outside of warranty and stuff like that. Which is a case where you're not basically replacing all the pistons. You're not having to hone out the block. There's a lot of stuff that you don't have to do in that case. That when you're doing an engine rebuild, you would have to do. So let's see. It's gonna be 5 of those caps and 6 of the other. So 6 rod caps, 5 crank caps, and a flywheel for good measure. Now, it's also one thing this game lets you get away with just torquing these up however you want. In real life, you do want to follow a torque pattern, and you're not going to just bolt these up. These are going to be torqued to a specific spec. Because basically, the clearance around that crankshaft, there's a lot of force being put on that crankshaft. The clearance around it is really, really important. If it's wrong, your engine is going to basically chew itself apart like it was, made out of wet cardboard. So there's a lot of engineering that goes into it, and when there's a lot of engineering that goes into tight tolerances, you don't want to screw it up by not having the tolerances be, let's say, reliable. And if you mistorque things, your tolerances are going to go to whack. That's not the way I meant to go. All right. The same. So like on a head like this, the torque spec would be start here in the center and then basically start going outwards from that. Nope, not what I meant to do. Okay, now how many of these am I going to need? I was not paying attention. There'll be... Let's go 10. There'll probably be at least 10. Definitely have this like sneeze that's just hovering on the edge. Won't actually come out and sneeze, but oh, so I'm going to need more than 10 of these because these cap on the end as well as between. Yeah, so I am short 4 of those. It's quite the turbo setup. So 4 more of those. 2 electronics for 6 ignition coils. That's convenient, only 4 bolts on the other oil pan. Is that actually going to work? Is that going to not leak? Probably not. That's almost a guaranteed leak in my opinion, but I don't mind it being easy. Probably a failed sensor. Those sensors, unfortunately, the sensors have to be powered by a battery inside them that now has to deal with cold temperatures, hot temperatures, constantly changing humidity, and as well as different air pressures. They don't have a good track record of lasting as long as they should, in my opinion. So let's see, this is quite the turbo setup. So we've got a turbo on either side. Yes, we've got the air. Like the exhaust side of the turbo is pretty simple. Exhaust goes into the turbo, gets dumped out down the side here where we've got both exhausts coming out. Oh, but the light is off. You got a flat tire alert with the tire pressure light not being on. Now it's possible that the computer might be looking at your tires and saying that one of them is lower than the other because they're moving at different speeds. If you have a tire that is new and a tire that is old, sometimes you'll get a flat tire alert while there is no flat, like while your tires are all good in pressure wise, but they're different heights. Or it's ghosts. And of course, it has a stupid little cover in the middle that has to cover all this. That doesn't do anything valuable. Yeah, spiders not so spiders in the gas tank aren't the problem. Spiders in the vent that allows your gas tank to off vent over under basically when it heats up too much from heat so that it doesn't explode. That is a problem. The music turns itself down sometimes. Yeah, that sounds like haunted. That just sounds straight up like haunted. Yeah, that's definitely most likely either there's a like bad ground or a module somewhere that is basically has corrosion. But that stuff gets so hard to chase down. So I already hate that fan. That fan looks complicated and dumb. A simple electronic fan in the right on the built or like attached right to the radiator seems like it'd be a much better idea. So the whole problem is you don't want a fan to just be going the faster the engine goes, the faster the fan goes. I want the fan to be able to go faster or slower depending on how hot the engine is. Because when you're like idling in traffic, that's one of the times you can overheat. That's where I need the fan doing more, basically doing its best work. Either way, that's the way it's built. I'm not the engineer. I'm not the one who's supposed to solve that problem. Alright, so I've got the left door, left mirror, hood, and right fender. Honestly, that's not much. Okay, now that we've got some body parts back on it, let's take this back to the car wash and give it another clean. And to the paint booth. Yeah, so that's the blue I want right there. That purple's good. And there's other good colors for it. But that blue, it's just the right. Actually, no, there's something's gonna bug me if I don't do it. Let's go back to the shop. Remove that hood. I'm gonna just sell that hood. Just such a riced out hood. I don't want it. I want the original hood. There. Now to the body shop with it. There. And we paint it blue. Yep. I feel good about that. Shiny, shiny. Alright, now what plate should we give this car? Okay, the last one plate's from Texas. I'm not actually seeing any plates that strike out to me. The polar bear one. Because I don't know, because that's the polar bear plates are. Or are you talking about this one, the Nunavut one? We can do a car from Nunavut. Oh, I think that's a few too many. I feel like that's going to be more effort than I want to do, but we'll go with what your suggestion is. Wish you could just type this in. I have a keyboard. Why can I not just type it in? Alright, let's toss those on. Now, where does the front plate go on this car? Small chance this car may not actually have a spot for a front license plate. It looks to me like there actually is not a front license plate. Okay, so I only needed to buy the one. But, alright. Time to drop the engine in. Nope, not what I meant to do. Okay, back to shopping for car parts. Just a whole bunch of the useless plastic stuff. Yeah, because power steering fluid reservoir is obviously useless. I mean, I feel like I can relate to the car a little bit. Every once in a while, I just need to have a moment to go through a panic attack. It's fine. Buy a stack of these, because go through enough fuses, there's no point in buying them one at a time. Although it does just occur to me right now that I actually have not done a very good job of finishing the other car that is over there. Much as I was saying, I'm done with it. All of these are still empty. I'd be very cranky if someone sold me a completely restored car and then gave it to me with no oil in it. Yeah, that is actually relatively accurate to how I fill up coolant. I always do a terrible job of actually just filling it up to the point that you need to. I fill it up until it pours out the top usually, make a little bit of a mess. I try not to, but it just happens a lot. It's not easy to not make a mess. Now with oil, I do carefully put it in and then check the dipstick. Also, this is the dipstick and I haven't started it, which means it would not be accurate yet. Some of the oil would get taken up in the engine and the filter and all of that, and then end up being too low. There. Now the car is actually completely done. Doesn't really do much for me. It doesn't increase the sale cost of the vehicle or anything, but just seems like it'd be a silly thing to do. Put a cart there with no fluids. Yeah, lucky on this one, I don't have to fill the coolant from the radiator. I can fill it from the reservoir. Although realistically, I would still fill it mostly from the radiator and then use the reservoir to actually get it to the precise level. Coolant is one of those things where the amount of fluid in there changes quite a bit over operation of the vehicle, so it's important to get it in the right range. Alright, well, engine's in and everything's dealt with from the top, but we're still missing, you know, everything underneath it. There's one thing I'm not short on, it is those disc brakes. It seems to be one of the few things that I have more than I need of every single time. Because I managed to salvage them from pretty bad conditions. But once again, I have forgotten to take apart the tires and suspension. Alright, may as well toss out the scrap parts. And actually, before I throw those away, how about we mark what I need? And I need 2 of those rims because I can. Apparently, you can only save 1 of them. All right. So I need 3 of them. Okay, suspension. So I need those parts to put together. Oh, and I also need the tire. And I need it in a 255 30 20. No, what was it? 240, 255 30 R20. 255 R35, or sorry, 255 35 R20. Go ahead and buy 4 of those. Was that correct? 30, not 35. Damn it. Oh man. All right. So let's go buy the rims that I need. And so I need 3 of these at 20. Offset 0. That probably actually need multiples, so let's just go ahead and get a few. And we'll go ahead and order brake pads all the way around. Now, I wish you could, if you basically were selling back 100% parts, get most of your money back for them. But when you are selling parts you just bought, you still do take that large hit. Meanwhile, in real life, most of the time you'd be able to return them as long as you haven't used them. Man, I have a sneeze that's just like on the edge of coming out, and it's like, nope, not quite. Okay, well, I'm going to step away from the keyboard for a moment here. So I will be right back. I promise. All right, and I am back. I think you may have been right about the shy sneeze. I think I made it like 5 steps away from my computer, and then suddenly it reared its head again and finally sneezed, which is good. I hate holding on to sneezes. Do not have the necessary parts. Huh. Oh, and that should be a part done from the top. What did I put into my... Oh, double wishbone, not front shock absorber. Alright. That will probably be electronic again. Now, of course, we do need to also get to the actual ABS module, which is 100% one of the things I hate messing around with in real life. These are always, they're not really designed to be removed from the ABS pump. I've had to do it a couple times for warranty, but it's always been a very finagly job to get it apart without something breaking. Because the screws they put on there are very... Did I literally just not buy enough? Like I only bought a single spring and a single cap? That was a weird mistake to make, but alright. There, so this corner should be all together. And start tossing on the tires. Oh, we don't have bushings. That should be an easy fix. I don't know if it's the small bushings or the big bushings, but we'll just order a bunch of each. Problem solved. It's definitely this game's all really focused on adding more vehicles and with mods like that. And you get stuff like the drag strip, but I'd still there's a lot of things that they don't do in this game that I'd love to see them add. Like they don't make me do a wheel alignment after taking suspension apart. Meanwhile, in real life, that's what you need to do next. Before that car can go out on the road and not have issues, you need to make sure that the wheels are actually going to go down the road straight. No, that'd be why I'm not seeing any of this stuff. I'm not in the right tab. Of course, I'm missing that. But I should have already known that from the other side here. Also need those. And those. And the sway bar links. No. All right. Yeah, I'll need 2 of those. And I'm pretty sure I'll need 2 of those. So far this is just 2 of everything. Swiper link, yes. Only 1 fuel pump. But wait, probably actually only 1 of those. I think the other side already had that arm. Yeah, the other side did. So I bought 2 of those I didn't need to. I was just so much expecting that I didn't have that part that I was ready to click at it. Just grabbing one of those because I don't actually know if I need 2. I'm sure I'll need a piston, but we'll burn that bridge when we get there. Yep. Do need that piston. All right. So that's mostly together. Still missing the suspension caps, which we would not actually be able to put in at this point. But I think that's it we're missing back there. All right, well, it's certainly starting to look done. Let's take a look through and see if we can find any missing bits on it. Sweet, a bunch of clips, fuel rail, starter. I didn't put the starter in, and the interior of the car. So yeah, missing quite a bit. So I'm missing these dumb clips. Definitely have a hate-hate relationship with them. There's absolutely nothing about those clips I like. But then fuel rail. Right there, yep. The fuel rail is not installed. Well, I will be. Okay, so then what interior pieces do I need? So I need seat 11 leather D. There. And then what? Steering wheel 8. All right. There, that car is done. So car status is now fully done. There, sold off all the stuff I don't need. Stuff that I'm not using. So then if I sell this car, I'll have initial 78,000. That's not bad, not bad at all. But for now, let's put it outside. Now let's put this car in. All right. Well, that was underwhelming. Okay. I'd say that is a good looking pair of cars. It's a good, nice blue for a Nissan Skyline. And the pink is very pink. Now this is a modded car and you can really tell already. Got stuff poking through the interior. Modded cars just part of the cost of looking like things are supposed to look like. They tend to have other failings. But anyway, this stream's been going for about 3 hours. I think I am probably going to call it here. We'll just... We've repaired 2, we've got a third one on the way. And by the time that those are done, because, okay, so this one is going to be sold for 80,000, 50,000. So by the time the other car is repaired, we'll probably be sitting at 250, maybe we're lucky 300,000 cash to spend. So maybe we can get something fancy and actually get a car for me to keep. Because I think I will sell both of these. Neither are a car that I'm set on keeping. But either way, we will call the stream there. So if this catches you, basically if you're watching this later, then I hope you guys have a good evening, good afternoon, or good morning, whenever it catches you. We'll talk to you later.